Amphion and Zethus were always known for their hard work and persistence. Even as young boys, they were determined to make a name for themselves. Their father was none other than Zeus himself, but their mother was a mortal woman named Antiope. Despite their divine lineage, Amphion and Zethus were not content to simply rest on their family's laurels. They wanted to do something meaningful with their lives, something that would make them proud. As they grew older, Amphion and Zethus became interested in architecture and engineering. They were fascinated by the idea of building something from the ground up, using nothing but their own hands and their own ingenuity. They began to study the art of construction, learning everything they could about different materials and building techniques. They spent hours upon hours sketching out plans for grand structures, dreaming of one day bringing their visions to life. Their hard work paid off when they were called upon to help establish the city of Thebes. The city was still in its infancy then, and there was much work to be done. The people of Thebes needed walls to protect them from invading armies, and Amphion and Zethus were the perfect men for the job. They worked tirelessly, day and night, drawing upon their knowledge of construction to create walls that were strong and sturdy. As they labored, they were assisted by their daughter, Nice. She was a bright and clever girl, who had inherited her father's love of building and designing. It was she who suggested the placement of the Natian Gate, which soon became a crucial entrance and exit point for the city. Over time, the walls that Amphion and Zethus had built became a source of pride for the people of Thebes. They were a testament to the twins' hard work and determination, and a symbol of their legacy. Today, Amphion and Zethus are remembered as heroes of Greek mythology. Their contributions to the founding of Thebes are seen as critical to the city's growth and development. And while their walls may be long gone, their legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of those who remember them. Amphion and Zethus were born as twin sons of Antiope, who was raped by Zeus. However, Antiope was treated terribly, and her captors forced her to abandon her sons on Mount Cithaeron. Fortunately, the boys were found and raised by a kind shepherd and his wife, who helped them discover their true identities as they grew older. Upon Antiope's eventual reunion with her sons, they learned of her mistreatment and were outraged. The twins took matters into their own hands, killing Dirce, Lycus' wife, and claiming ownership of Thebes as joint rulers. They either killed or forced Lycus to renounce his throne. Amphion's musical talent came in handy when he used it to strengthen the city walls of Thebes. Zethus, on the other hand, was a renowned hunter and was famous for his strength. This story of survival, strength, and revenge is a powerful one. Despite facing adversity and being abandoned by their mother, the twins went on to become powerful and influential leaders. Their story serves as an inspiration for those who face challenges and hardships in life, and their determination and resilience are still celebrated today. Amphion and Zethus lived happily with their wives and continued to build and create. However, tragedy struck when Niobe insulted the goddess Leto, who had only 2 children, Apollo and Artemis, while Niobe had many. In revenge, Apollo and Artemis killed Niobe's children, leaving her completely alone. Amphion was devastated by the loss of his children and his wife's sorrow. He decided to take his own life by throwing himself from a high tower. However, his music saved him once again. The stones of the tower he was falling from rushed towards him, creating a staircase that gently led him to safety. Zethus was heartbroken by his brother's suicide attempt and decided to dedicate his life to cattle breeding and hunting. His loyal dog never left his side, and together they roamed the countryside, admired by all who knew them. The city of Thebes continued to thrive, surrounded by the walls that Amphion and Zethus had built. Their legacy lived on through their children, who continued their family's tradition of music, building, and agriculture. Amphion and Zethus may have faced tragedy, but their talent and passion left a lasting impression on ancient Greek culture. Niobe, the wife of Amphion, was a proud and boastful woman, often bragging about her many children. She even went as far as to insult Leto, the goddess with only 2 children, Artemis and Apollo. In response, the goddess's children decided to punish Niobe's arrogance and killed her children. It was a terrible tragedy that befell Niobe's family because of her overconfidence. Amphion was heartbroken by the loss of his children, and he eventually committed suicide due to his grief, according to Ovid. Telesilla suggests a different version of events where Artemis and Apollo killed Amphion and his children. Meanwhile, Hyginus writes that Amphion, in his madness, tried to attack the temple of Apollo and was killed by the god's arrows. Zethus, Amphion's brother, had only one child who died due to a mistake made by his mother Thebes. The tragedy was too much for Zethus to bear, and he decided to take his own life. In the Odyssey, Zethus's wife Eden is mentioned, who killed her son Italus out of jealousy and madness. As punishment, Zeus transformed her into a nightingale. Later, it was revealed that Eden killed her own son accidentally while attempting to murder Niobe's firstborn. Alternatively, Eden was afraid that Zethus was cheating on her with a nymph, and she thought that their son was helping him in his affair, leading her to kill Italus. After the deaths of Amphion and Zethus, Laius returned to Thebes and became its new king. These stories bear similarities to other myths such as Castor and Polydeuces of Greece and Romulus and Remus of Rome. Niobe's arrogance caused the downfall of her family, a cautionary tale for all who value pride over humility.
Do you want to explore more Greek mythology stories? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.